Decision validation, making better defensible decisions. Today, we are in an age of big data. We're forced to deal with massive amounts of data. Data is the new currency. Our decisions are indeed highly subjective. They are shaped by our emotions and our experiences. There is a plethora of evidence that we humans are irrational beings. Additionally, we have to manage uncertainties associated with the data. Let's not forget that every data point has some degree of uncertainty. It's never black or white. Naturally, we rely on traits such as common sense, experience, judgment, intuition, gut feel, etc. Sadly, these are totally inadequate in a big data environment. Analytical decision making is the only option. When making a decision, we start with an objective. Then we have to consider the factors that drive this decision. These are the criteria. And finally, we have to identify the potential solutions. These are the candidates. As an example, let's consider buying a home. Of course, there is a multitude of criteria. Using an analytical technique, we can identify the most significant criteria. So let's assume that we identified the following to be the significant criteria: price, resale value, travel time to work, crime, and pollution. Now we need to rank the importance of these criteria relative to each other. That is, we need to assign weights. This is where it gets tricky. We're not willing to admit that one criterion is more important than another. We end up saying they're all important, but this is not acceptable. We must specify the degree of relative importance. We can certainly use a hierarchical analytical technique such as HP to assign criteria weight. But beware, using common sense to assign weights would be disastrous. Finally, we use HP to rank the candidate houses. Let's consider another typical problem, that of recruiting.
They identify 6 criteria and 4 candidates. I have set up the recruiting problem, and when I hit continue, we have the criteria and the candidates that I have already inserted. We move on to the judgment table. The criteria judgment provides pairwise comparison. All you have to do is remember 2 simple questions. Which one? How much? So the first question is between availability and leadership. Which one is important to us? Availability. Then between availability and salary, you might say salary. You proceed with this. When you finish, press OK, and we are presented the criteria weights and the candidate rankings.
The simulation recommends Mary as the best candidate.
So what next?
You present your findings to the CEO. The CEO asks, if I'm willing to pay whatever it takes to hire the best candidate, is Mary still your recommendation? You don't know how to respond to the CEO in a convincing manner. Basically, you're unable to defend your decision. Decision validation is the answer.
If you recall, in the previous video, we completed the candidate rankings for the hotel recruiting problem. Now let us conduct the N-1 validation to look at the impact of criteria on our decision.
Once we complete the evaluation, we generate a graph using the chart maker. We see that the optimal decision is Mary. Additionally, we have 6 bands. This is known as the N-1 evaluation. Here we have removed availability, here we have removed leadership, and here we have removed salary, etc. And if salary is not an issue, Sue is a far better candidate. Could you have made better defensible decisions relying on common sense alone? Probably not.
So let me explain decision validation. The criteria you specified are simply factors that you thought were important or necessary. However, once you make the decision, it is imperative that you study the sensitivity of your decision to the data and your assumptions. The question is, would the optimum decision still be the optimum if we were to drop a particular criterion? Decision validation is a one key operation within our Expertus software. Relying purely on intuition, common sense, experience, judgment, etc. can be catastrophic. I urge you to put aside any illusions of infallibility that you might have and reinforce your decisions with analytical techniques using our free software. Whether it's decision validation or D-zone mapping or cost-benefit analysis, we have the answer. We help you make better defensible decisions. Thank you for watching. Would love to connect with you on LinkedIn.
Remember, every action is a decision and every interaction is a negotiation.